Hello everyone, welcome to the Geoecologist. I am Dr. Krishnanand, and in this session we are going to learn about the concept of radicalism and its influence in geographical thought. So how did it emerge and who were the key players, who were the key scholars in radicalist school of thought? So let's understand in today's session. So before we go ahead, please like and subscribe to our channel and share the videos with others as well. So after we have already understood the concept of Marxism, let's understand what is this radicalism all about. When we say radicalism, it basically means what? It means free thinkers who talk about freedom of human beings, of the rights and all those things that are important for a free individual. So this word radical, as we know, exponents and radical as we know in the chemistry, it also means something which is free, which is floating. So radical approach in geography as well, if we talk about radicalism specifically as an ideology that developed in mid 1960s as a part of an oppositional politics. Oppositional politics to what? The politics around capitalism, which was being talked about in the world at that time. So what was there? In one hand, there was all positivistic revolutionary ideas coming in, lawmaking, generalization principles coming in. So what happened? People thought that rationality is something which is not possible. It is very ideal, utopian. So these radical thinkers thought about so many things which exists in the society. For example, what? The inequality, racism, sexism, environment, and opposition to the Vietnam War that was going on in 60s. So lots of things happened, especially in American school of geographical thought. So it developed as a reaction to what was going on, quantitative revolution and positivistic thought, which tried to make geography as a spatial science with great emphasis on locational analysis. So what it avoided, or what it did not consider, was that man was not a rational man. Human beings were not ideal. Surfaces were not ideal. There were classes, there were several layers in the society, and there was so much of inequality and racism and so many other things that were prevalent. So this idea, which is quantitative revolution or positivism, actually tend to ignore it. So many scholars followed this oppositional politics of this particular ideology, that is positivism, and then they created this movement which was known as radicalism. So what we understand is that it began as a critique within the contemporary liberal capitalistic society. So remember, it was a critique of the contemporary liberal capitalistic society that had developed post World War II. So lots of industrialization were happening, and impact was that lots of scientific understanding of places, spaces, productions, all these things were in vogue. So quantification was at its peak. So what was happening? The understanding of space was going only just one way. So what happened? There was a belief that power concept, the spaces are determined by who has power in their hands. So this was actually influenced by the Marxian analysis of power. So according to radicalists, inequality is inherent. It is the integral part of what is called capitalist mode of production. So that is where this all movement started. So redistribution of income through taxation policies will not solve the problems of poverty and inequality. So this radicalist thought that what we say is we tax people and then distribute it. This is not the way to remove this inequality. There has to be an alternative way of development that has to be followed. So in the concepts of alternative development was the birth of this idea of radicalism. So according to Richard Peet, one of the flag bearers of this ideology of radicalism, alternative, that is environment designs with removal of central bureaucracies and their replacement by anarchist models of community control are needed. So there was this ideology that if these centralized systems where everything is concentrated, power is concentrated, decision making is concentrated, this is not going to remove this inequality. So how it can be removed? Only through giving powers back to people's hand. So kind of an anarchist model of community. So this was again the idea of community coming in, because it was influenced by the idea of Marx. So the geographers should work towards their creation. So what happened in the works of Richard Peet? We remember the theories of development and other scholars' work. The followers of radical approach in geography mainly concentrated their work on several issues of relevance to human beings. What was that? Inequality, racism, sexism, crime, delinquency, discrimination against the blacks and non-whites which was going on, exploitation of juveniles, environment resources, and opposition of Vietnam War that was going on in US. So that was important. They were all radical, going on writing and producing newer texts, citing an alternative mode of development to the capitalistic mode. So it was in this background that radical students, what we say is people who were radicalized, who were influenced by this idea that a society needs a large scale change, a revolutionary change. So what did they do? They challenged the traditional geography, which was geography just as a spatial science, and they started publishing articles which were more socially relevant. Like they talked about class struggles, they talked about inequalities, as we know. So newer journals were created for those scholars. So one of the important journal of high repute that we know is Antipode. So Antipode is a radical journal of geography that was founded at Clark University, Worcester. So especially to publish these kind of research papers of younger geographers who were radicalists. So the young radical geographers published paper in Antipode dealing with urban poverty, discrimination against women, colored people and minority groups, inequality, access to social amenities, crimes, deprivation, permissiveness, and sexism. So all those things which were ignored in the spatial science approach, the positivistic approach of geography, was now considered as the thrust of these radical geographers. So they also published articles on underdevelopment, poverty, malnutrition, unemployment, and resource misuse in the third world countries. So that was the thrust of the publication by radicals. So as we know, one of the major scholars in radical field is Richard Peat, who wrote several volumes of work, and radical geography developed largely as negative reaction, not just a positive reaction, rather than negative reaction to the established discipline that is spatial science. So radical geographers introduced study of topics such as poverty, hunger, health, crime to human geography, and several other topics which was largely ignored prior to this time. So the salient features and objectives of radical geography are listed here. Let's learn this one by one. So the first is to expose the issues of inequality, deprivation, and several issues that we have talked about, to highlight the weaknesses of positivism and quantitative revolution in geography, to bring cultural revolution, to eradicate permissiveness, sexism, and discrimination against female. So this was another important thrust area. To remove regional inequalities. Remember areal differentiation and regional inequality, ideas of regions being unique, so regions having specific importance. So these were important inequalities that were challenged here in the works of radical geographers. Then radicalists opposed political centralization and economic concentration. So they talked about the power vested in the hands of people themselves rather than centralized power. So they were against imperialism, nationalism, national chauvinism, and racism. So remember, all these things were against these radicals. So they developed as an anti-protest. They developed themselves, their concept was the anti-establishment concept. So they opposed the idea of superiority of white and the West. So this was another important parameter of the power concentration. Now, according to radicalists, the man and environment relationship that we study in geography may be understood through history. So largely again the focus was on, remember, the Marxist way of looking at the space, that is historical materialism. So in other words, the mode of production in any society determines the economic relation among its people. So again, this statement was reiterated. So one of the objectives of radicalists was to explain not only what is happening, but also to prescribe revolutionary changes. So not just normal changes, but revolutionary changes and solution to social problems. So it means basically throwing out the central government from power and establishing anarchist government where only, local people have the freedom to decide whatever they want to. So this was a radical way of thinking, to develop more just, equal, tension-free, peaceful, and enjoyable society. So the radicalists thought that if this centralization is not there, if this power dominance is not there, then society would be more just, it will be more equal, it will be tension-free, it will be peaceful and enjoyable, where everybody will have similar kind of power. So this was the larger thrust of all those writings of the radical geographers. But it was heavily criticized like other approaches in geography as well. So radicalism reduces human beings to a passive existence. Remember, the same as a cog in the wheel. So passive existence is the field of historical and structural determinism. That is why it was criticized that human beings are not passive beings. They are not dominated beings. They have their brain. They can challenge. They can understand. They can have different perceptions rather than just being played by somebody who has power. So this was considered to be the victims of Marxist orthodoxy. So radicalists were not valued because of this Marxist orthodoxy. So that was important. So radicalists lacked flexibility in fast changing world of knowledge. So they were not adapt to it. They still had that dogma of looking at space through modes of production over time, the historical materialism. So Marxist ideas dominated in the subject of radical geographers, and that's why they were subject to criticism on the same grounds of Marxism. So the theoretical base of the radical paradigm was very weak. That was one important thing, and radicalists could not develop, this is another last important point, that they could not develop an appropriate model about population and resource in an integrated dynamic way to remove inter-regional and intra-regional inequality. So what happened? They criticized a lot. They talked about lots of differences, lots of issues in the society, but they themselves could not come up with a concrete methodology to study it and also to actually implement it and reduce the actual gap between the rich and poor, which they talked about all the time in their work. So this was heavily criticized. So now, when we have learned about the concept of radicalism and its influence in geographical thought, it's time that we learn furthermore about the concept of structuralism, humanism and postmodernism. So stay tuned for the lectures to come. All my best wishes to you.